David from Ambit Post 422, who's here on behalf of our Madam President, Department of Florida. Would you like to say a few words?
Greetings. I am Linda Zader. I represent the Department of Florida, Madam President. I'm the Department of Florida Quartermaster, a local District 16 officer, and local auxiliary 42, President-elect. This will be my 4th term. On behalf of the Department of Florida and its Ladies Auxiliary, we thank you for allowing us to join in celebration of this amazing project. On behalf of Madam President, Sherry Mirichak, she sends her best wishes and congratulations for recognizing the ongoing needs of our veterans. They serve, they serve, and they protect us no matter the cost. She sends her regret that she could not attend due to our commitment. Our Ladies Auxiliaries throughout the nation proudly support our veterans, their families, our community, and our children. We do this through ongoing activities, donations, and any type of support.
And 2 Gold Star survivor, her late brother, Marine Lance Corporal Caleb Powers, her late fiance, Marine Sergeant Richard Bowles. After the loss of her fiance, she moved to Trenton, Florida to raise their son, Brody. Post-loss, Ms. Powers attended school at the University of Florida, which I won't hold against her as not educated. She received her BA there and did her postgraduate studies and went on to complete an MBA at St. Leo University, and has been an influential employee for change in the Veteran Health Administration for over 11 years. Ms. Powers has a passion for veterans and serving those veterans who are able to come home to get the best care and treatment possible. Ms. Powers recently completed her 3-year term as the Commandant of the Tri-County Marine Corps League. Ms. Powers has recently relocated to West Palm Beach, Florida area to take on a larger role with more responsibilities within the Veteran Health Administration. Let's give a round of applause for Ms. Rosanna.
I appreciate that introduction. I'm glad to be here today. Watching this FORVETS just grow and finally get here to this day where we're having a groundbreaking, it really means a lot to me that this is finally happening. And like Mr. Wells said, veterans are my passion. There's a special place in my heart for all veterans. And it may stem from the fact that my brother and my fiance are no longer here. And when veterans are able to come home, the least I can do is to do whatever I can do to care for them and give them the best care and treatment that I could possibly give them. And it's my passion working for the VA and improving. I know you might have heard a lot of bad things about the VA, but I tell you, my job every day for the past 11 years is to improve the care that we give our veterans. And I won't stop short of anything great, not only as a veteran myself, but for anyone here who's a veteran or anyone you might know that's a veteran, to give them the opportunity to have the same life as you and me, or for those who have never served. There's a lot of things that, that have been taken from them, and if we could just give them a little more help and support and love, that's the least we can do. And I just want to say thank you all for coming here and being a part of this FORVETS and this groundbreaking, and I can't wait to see all the people that we could help. And I hope you guys are here to see that. And I appreciate your time. I think I don't want to get too emotional, but I'm very glad to be here today. So thank you.
Ms. Powers, we thank you for those wonderful remarks. And we're glad, as a veteran myself, I'm glad that there's others, shipmates that I have out there that also are passionate about the work we do here at Camp Valor and the work that we're going to be doing in the future. Our next speaker is coming up is Miss Margaret Destin. They tell me everybody knows her as ML. She enlisted in the Air Force in 2007, serving initially as a medic, performing numerous missions throughout the U.S., returning injured service members to their designated treatment facilities. From 2010 to 2011, deployed as a flight medic in support of Operation Enduring Freedom to Qatar and Afghanistan. In 2012, transitioned from active duty to the Air Force Reserve, then deploying again in 2013. Out of Afghanistan to Germany and from Germany back to the U.S. In 2015 was a part of the first group of selected veterans to complete a new accelerated nursing program at the University of South Florida, receiving her bachelor in science and nursing. She completed her reserve enlistment in 2017 and has worked for the last 2 years as a critical care nurse in a neuro trauma intensive care unit. Let's give a big round of applause for this.
Make sure I speak in this right tone. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is ML Destin. I'm an Air Force veteran, and I wanted to share with you all today, just briefly, some of my experiences and why projects like Camp Valor and the people who contribute to them are so important. So during my service, I worked as a flight medic, and treating those returning from combat zones, I saw all the things that they had sacrificed. Their minds, their bodies, and those who sacrificed everything, giving their lives. And all these things which shared and endured by their families and the friends who loved them. When I left active duty, I went into the reserves to complete my nursing program. And during this time, I was exposed to veterans in a way that I hadn't been before. I was able to see what came next in the lives of veterans who were recovering from trauma-related injuries. So during my program, all of my community hours were done with veteran outreach programs. My mental health rotation was done with veterans at the VA, and my research papers were done on the correlation between PTSD and homelessness in the veteran community. So I could say a lot of things on that, but in short, I will tell you this: programs like this are very much needed. And there are many support programs that exist for veterans currently, but in my experience and experiences shared with me by other veterans, many times there is a disconnect between these programs with different guidelines, different enrollment processes, different physical locations, and sometimes that acts as a barrier to those veterans reaching out and accessing those programs. Now, that's constantly being worked on and improved by wonderful people, such as Rosanna. But Camp Valor has a very unique quality to it, to where veterans can come to a place that is calm, that is beautiful, and they can receive many services that are vital in their recovery process all in one place. And when Mr. Dan and my mom spoke with me about this, I thought it was a phenomenal idea and a really great opportunity to help our veterans and give back to them. So to all of our veterans here today, thank you for your service and your sacrifice. And to everyone here, thank you so much for your support.
Rosenberg. But next, we're going to have our keynote address from the AMVETS commander, Mr. Terry Corson. I had asked before this program, because I've never met this young man, and I asked Joe, I said, Joe, can you send me just a little brief bio on the guy so I kind of...
Well, I'd like to get up here and just say ditto to what these two ladies have just said. I think they've pretty well said it all. Board members, fellow speakers, fellow veterans, guests, what a pleasure to be here at a groundbreaking ceremony. And even better than that, I showed up a little bit early, only because I didn't want to be late. And I had a fantastic tour of the grounds. Dan took me around and showed me where things were going to be. Impressive, absolutely impressive. And the pictures out here say a million words. One other thing, as you know, I retired from the railroad 44 years. When I first got here and I saw these shovels, I thought, oh my God, they're gonna lay some railroad track. We're back to the chain gang. But I hope it's not gonna be like that. So anyway, good morning, everyone. My name is Terry Corson. I am the commander of AMVETS Department of Florida. Currently, we have 17,600 AMVET members. This does not include our Ladies Auxiliary nor our Sons organization. But let me tell you how I got here. About a month and a half ago, I received a phone call from my judge advocate, Joe Oxendine. He said, Commander, do you have anything going on the 19th of May? I looked at my calendar. I said, no, the 19th is open. Why? What's going on? He says, I need some help, and we'd like you to come and be a guest speaker. And I said, well, what am I speaking about? And he said, a project called Camp Valor. I said, really, what's that all about? So 15 minutes later, with the description that he gave me, I said, you know what, I can't turn something like that down. Not for a project this big and a project that is going to mean so much to veterans. So what a beautiful setting. I mean, this is incredible. 636 acres, Swanee River a mile away, water access to it. As you heard by my bio, I was born and raised in Montana. I'm used to getting up, seeing clear blue skies and smelling the pine trees and thinking, boy, this is God's country. It doesn't get any better than that. But I tell you what, when I drove up here today, I thought somebody took the mountains away, but everything else is the same. It kind of brought me back to Montana. So what a great, beautiful setting this is. And I'm glad we heard about the veterans, the VA. You know, we've been right now too long without a secretary. But the one thing that I'll tell you that I see with the Veterans Administration, it's a good administration. We've spent, not we, but the government has spent so much time sending inspectors in to look at things at the VA that before they can get anything fixed, they send another group of inspectors in. And I know what's all about, what it's like to do inspections. I was a battalion commander for a while. And what you do is you go in there, but you always get somebody from the local unit that follow you around so that they can take notes and tell you what's really going on and everything. So every time we send an inspection team into the VA, they gather up the people that should be helping veterans and they follow these jamokes around and they put a report together for the government. And then we hear about the reports. One good thing that's going to happen with Camp Valor, the VA will survive. The VA will do some things, but they're only going to get our veterans to a certain level. This facility, with this program, will put them over the top. And look at one thing. You never get a second chance for a first impression. So if you're a wounded vet, and you're coming in and you're driving in and you see these facilities built, what kind of an impression do you think that veteran has? And not only that, you know, the more important thing is when Joe was talking to me, it's not only for the veteran, but the veteran's family can come in with them. How important is it to have a family member? A family member is very important in a healing process. And having a family member here to help you out, I think it just, everything I read about the program, everything Joe told me about the program, I thought whoever's leading this, the board of directors, has really done their homework, and they really put this thing together extremely well. So I'm just so impressed. And I commend the FORVETS Incorporated for developing the core fundamentals, which include education, rehabilitation, enterprise, and recreation. And additionally, again, there will be family with them. You know, a veteran gets wounded, shot, disabled, whatever, and he goes to a hospital. And generally, depending on what's going on, the wound that he inflicted, he can be in the hospital for a long time by himself. Or maybe he's lucky to have somebody to talk to. There's another wounded vet alongside of him. Having a family member there is much, much better. And it's good for the family member also. So I think that with what's going on, this Camp Valor is going to be a move of the future. And I'm sure with the board of directors and with the conversation I had with Dan, if this thing continues to grow and then somebody looks at it and says, you know, we should have that exact same thing only over here in another part of the United States. It's these facilities that's going to make life a whole lot better for our wounded veterans. The one thing I am convinced that with the goals that they have, there's a couple of goals that I'd like to mention that I don't think they're going to realize, but they didn't capitalize on. I think as a result of this, we'll see a reduction in veteran suicide. I think that every veteran that comes here is going to go out of here and he's going to have some kind of a skill set, a job, something that's going to make him feel like there's a reason that he should continue to live. And we need that. There'll be less veteran unemployment because when they come out of here, they'll have something to do. They'll have a skill set. They'll be valuable to some corporation. No matter what contractor I hire to do anything in my house, it takes them longer to do it. They don't show up on time. They don't do this. They don't do that. And the big excuse is we can't find any good help. Well, they're going to help fix that. There'll be less veterans homelessness because when they get a skill set and they can go out and get a job and get income, they won't be homeless. They'll have a home. And it's the Camp Valor folks that's going to make that difference. And there'll be less veterans hopelessness. When these guys come in here, there should be a photo taken. When these guys leave here, guys or gals, there should be another photo taken. And I think you're going to see a whole different person from the person that came in and the person that left here. And I think that's going to be great. And I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you that AMVETS is making some changes. And we did. March 19th, we introduced our AMVETS HEAL team. AMVETS hired a team of clinical experts with experience in eliminating barriers to access in healthcare for veterans nationwide. So we're not the ones that are going to go out and do the Camp Valor things. They're the ones who are going to look at it and say, hey, if you've got a problem and the VA's not treating you right or whatever, we can help you through that. Or if you're not getting the type of care that you need, we can help you through that. Their mission is to ensure veterans with medical needs receive the help they have earned to access the best quality health care, including mental health and specialized services, meaning traumatic brain injury, polytrauma, post-traumatic stress, and live longer and healthier lives. The services are free. HEAL, which stands for Healthcare, Evaluation, Advocacy, and Legislation, which is a key part to all of this. Changing the politician's mind, putting it more towards veterans. So hopefully, when Camp Valor is complete, our AMVETS HEAL team will be telling our wounded warrior that there's a special place in Florida that can help them through the healing process. And we can all hope that we get the best for our veterans. That said, it gives me great opportunity to present a donation of $1,000 to FORVETS Incorporated for Camp Valor Project. The donation is presented on behalf of AMVETS Department of Florida. But we went a step farther. We have a service foundation. They have a matching funds grant. So I went to the service foundation, and the service foundation will be sending another check for $1,000. In closing, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak on behalf of Camp Valor and the FORVETS Incorporated. God bless our warfighters, and God bless the families of the 20 veterans who will take their lives today. And thank the Lord for organizations like FORVETS Incorporated that can and will make a difference. Thank you very much. And who would like to accept?
If tomorrow all the things were gone I've worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my family by my side, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, to New York to LA, but there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say
Chairman of the Camp Valor Committee. Dan came to me about 5 years ago, or actually we were at a meeting. He presented his dream for Camp Valor, and the first thing I told Dan is I want to help any way I can, and I didn't know that I was going to end up being as involved as I am. But this was his dream, and we're working on his dream. We want to serve these veterans. And I want to turn it over to Dan. He has a little difficulty speaking sometimes, but I'm going to try to make sure he doesn't speak very long.
That's just my life, you know. I really appreciate everybody being out here today, and the support, and having this good microphone always makes me squeak. So it kind of covers up my bad voice I have. I don't know what else I could add. I've never been touched so strongly as I was for the past 30 minutes here. And I'm just going to pass this mic down, and maybe somebody with a better voice and better mind and smarter, better, not as good looking, but
I am the events director and coordinator out here, and I have so many people that I need to say thank you today that have helped pull this through, sweating it out while we thought it was going to rain unbearably. And I just have such a gratitude and thanks for everyone that came out to this event and those that have stood behind the lines to make sure that it all got done. And thank you all very much.
Thank you. My name's Dice, and this lady here is our general manager. She manages everything. And but I just wanted to say, this whole vision, as was said just a few minutes ago, is because of Dan, Kavanaugh, and Lynn. And the work that this man does and has done, I get emotional when I think about it, because he's put his life into this. And we owe a great gratitude for what's already been done and for what's going to be done. So thank you, Dan, and let's give him a hand of applause.
I'm just going to say one quick thing. I'm Robert Wells. I live in Residing. I met Dan, it's probably been a little over a year ago now. I walked into his office over there in Belleville, trying to tell him about Meridian services. And we got to talking, two old sailors talk, and the next thing I know, we're here. As a minister, one thing that the Bible clearly says that if you write the vision and make it plain, the people will see it and run with it. Dan has wrote the vision and made it plain, and the people are running with it.
Hi, my name is Pat Clemens. I'm the newest board member out here at Camp Valor. I'm with the AMVETS Post 422 in Fanning Springs along with their riders. And we have supported Camp Valor for the past 3 or 4 years that I know of. And it was I'm truly thankful when I was asked to be a board member 3 or 4 months ago. I'm proud to be here, and I'm glad to see everybody out here today supporting this groundbreaking. Thank you.
I'm Judge Sherry Lancaster. I'm proud to be here. I'm the proud daughter of a former the late World War II veteran who fought in World War II. And I just appreciate all the veterans. When you sign up, you're writing the check, and some of you get that check cashed, and some of you come home with injuries. And I thank Dan and all of the FORVETS for giving you a place to come to rehab.
Wendy Gazelle, representing the Florida Department, Ladies Auxiliary AMVETS. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm proud to be here.
Hi, I'm Lee Strader. I just wanted to thank everybody for showing up today. It's nice to see the community here and support what's going on out here for Camp Valor. Thank you.
I'm Mike Conroy, I'm the builder. I'd like to acknowledge Ms. Jennifer Langford and Nancy Jones, who have designed this beautiful facility. And we've all been following Dan's vision, which is infectious. Somehow he and Clora tied me into this a couple of years ago. I dragged Jennifer and Nancy into it. And it's just an incredible magnetic pull to do something for our veterans. And Dan has been doing such a fabulous job over the last couple of years.
I don't know, this is my first shovel groundbreaking that I've ever gone to, let alone help organize. But everybody here, I want you to know you'll have a chance to speak. We want to recognize everybody that's here, and we'll be asking you to stand for that recognition. The other thing is that each of you will be able to come up here and get a shovel, and we're going to dig until everybody has gotten a picture, and we can have this nice memory of all of you digging. Okay, thank you.
Let's turn over some dirt.
And can we go around the other groundbreaking when we start the bill? Can we get everybody over here and put them to work? Yeah. That's right, getting to turn 13. Yes, sir.
I'll tell you, this dirt is not ordinary dirt.
Special dirt.
Special dirt. Black. I didn't know that when I ordered it. It doesn't smell bad. It's hard to get a shovel in there, so I suggest you just scrape across the top and turn over the shovel.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go.